Hello aspirants, my name is Shraddha. Welcome to the channel Your UPSC Notes. On this channel, I'll share with you all my own notes so that you get an idea as to how you can make short and crisp notes on different subjects, जो कि both prelims and mains examination में आपको help करेगा. अगर आप मेरे नोट्स से आइडिया लेकर अपना नोट्स बनाते हैं तो लास्ट मोमेंट्स में रिवाइज एंड मेमोराइज करना आपके लिए बहुत आसान हो जाएगा. मेरे पास इस टॉपिक का डिटेल्ड वर्जन नोट्स भी है. अगर आपको डिटेल्ड वर्जन चाहिए किसी टॉपिक का तो आप मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में कमेंट करके बताएं. देन आई विल शेयर विथ यू ऑल द डिटेल्ड वर्जन एज वेल. सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड नाउ विदाउट एनी फर्दर डिले. So today I am sharing with you all my criticism of the Constituent Assembly notes, which is important from mains perspective. As you can see, you have to, one thing you need to remember that these notes will not help you understand things completely. When you have read the book, my role comes when you have read the book, understood the things, then you get stuck. कि नोट्स कैसे बनाए, क्या लिखना है. एंड दोज हु आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम एंड रीडिंग द लक्ष्मीकांत एंड मेकिंग नोट्स, दे गेट लॉस्ट. वो सारा जो पढ़ते हैं वो एक एक चीज़ को वर्ड बाय वर्ड नोट्स में भी लिखने लगते हैं. तो दैट्स नॉट हाउ यू मेक नोट्स, दैट्स नॉट हाउ यू विल बी एबल टू रिमेंबर और मेमोराइज इट और रिवाइज इट. सो जब आपने एक बार बुक को पढ़ लिया है, समझ लिया है, देन यू गेट बैक टू माई वीडियोज़ एंड देन यू सी कि नोट्स बनाया कैसे है. You can even shorten this note what I have written. I can show you even the shortest version of this if you want. ये मैंने थोड़ा सा extended इसलिए लिया so that you will understand. It is easy for you to understand what I'm trying to say and how you make notes. So तो जब आप पूरी बुक्स पढ़ते हैं और फिर उसमें से क्या आपको पिकअप करके नोट्स में डालने हैं, कैसे रिवाइज करना है, जो रिविजन के समय पे हेल्प आएगा. This video is for that purpose. So द क्रिटिसिज्म ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली. सो दुनिया में कोई भी अच्छी चीज़ हो, कितनी भी अच्छी हो, क्रिटिसिज्म, द बेस्ट थिंग्स और बेस्ट पीपल हैव गॉट क्रिटिसिज्म. पीपल से द ऐश्वर्या राय इज़ द मोस्ट ब्यूटिफुल वुमेन इन द वर्ल्ड, शी इज़. बट फिर भी कुछ लोग आएंगे बोलेंगे नो मुझे तो दूसरी पसंद है, इतनी भी अच्छी नहीं लगती. कुछ लोग आएंगे अमिताभ बच्चन को एक्टिंग आती है, इतनी भी अच्छी नहीं आती है. इवन द बेस्ट थिंग्स, बेस्ट पीपल गेट क्रिटिसाइज. So in every way, the criticism of Constituent Assembly, under those circumstances, they frame the, one of the world's best constitution. Still, there will be people who will criticize. It happens to all of us. Even it will happen to you once you crack the UPSC and you become the officer and do the best work. There will be people who will still criticize you. Take it as for motivation and not bogged down by it. So why was the Constituent Assembly criticized? It gave the best constitution frame, but still, so we have to look into those points. Why were some people or the scholars were criticizing it? So the first point is, people said they were critical about it not being a representative body. So some scholars point out that Constituent Assembly was not a representative body because members were not directly elected via adult franchise. Adult franchise means the way we elect our politicians now. Every individual 18 plus has right to vote. The Constituent Assembly members were not elected by adult franchise, and rightly so, because there were no resources then and there was no body to supervise it. It would have been like it was nearly impossible things. So they criticized, first point, it was not a representative body. And then the second point of criticism was it was not a sovereign body. Why? Because some people thought the proposal, it was created by the proposal of British government. So the British government was the one who proposed it, the Constituent Assembly to be created. So अपना खुद से तो हमने किया नहीं. Until the British government accepted our demand कि हमें Constituent Assembly चाहिए, आप until they accepted our demand in the through August offer, and they proposed in cabinet mission plan. तो हमारे पास तो पावर ही नहीं था इंडिया के पास उसको कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट बॉडी को असेंबली को बनाने का. सो पीपल से as it was created by the proposal of the British government, the Constituent Assembly was not a sovereign body. Third point of criticism was time consuming. They say, some people and scholars say American Constitution was completed in 4 months, but India took more than 2 years to get it completed. So it was very time consuming. Itna time to nahi lagna chahiye. But the reality is the diversity that we have in our country, the differences of opinion, the difference in, to accommodate everybody in one constitution which is still standing true. Everybody, right from the government to the citizen to the court, we all refer to our constitution. Why? Because it was created, it was framed after thoughtful process, taking everything into consideration, all strata of society and aspects. So अगर आप इतनी डिटेल में कुछ बेस्ट चीज़ बनाते हैं तो उसमें टाइम तो लगता है. And America is not as diverse country as India is, so definitely it took time. The fourth point is dominated by the Congress. The people say the fourth point of criticism, people say, scholars say, the assembly, constituent assembly was largely dominated by Congress. That means the most members were from Congress. And then if we dig out, if we go deep into this to know why it was dominated by the Congress, because see, they were not fighting with each other. We were Indians, we were not creating different party like we have fight with each other to run the government. At that point of time, our only enemy was the British government, the Britishers. So the people from different strata, people from different ideology, people from different different religion also, they came back, who had different philosophy, they came back, they came under one umbrella to fight with the Britishers, not with each other. So that umbrella name was given to Congress. When the Congress was formed, then people, log chalte gaye, karwa banta gaya. Initially A.O. Hume and started it with some Indians, and then slowly it kept adding on. So many people came under with the time. They came, worked for Congress, worked in the Congress against the Britishers, retired, some died, some jailed, and some, it was like a long process. So that's how the Congress के पास इतनी ज़्यादा लोग जुड़े हुए थे कांग्रेस के साथ. तो obviously dominated, it was in the Constituent Assembly में कांग्रेस के members ज़्यादा थे. Then there was Muslim League also, but eventually they walked out and they wanted Pakistan. तो Muslims कम हो गए, या दूसरी party as a Muslim League was other party, they walked out. That is why it was dominated by Congress. And the fifth point of criticism was lawyer politician domination. So the scholars say the lawyer and politicians dominated the Constituent Assembly. That is why the Constitution is very bulky and complicated. It is very bulky and it's in complicated language. I will agree that if a common person read the Constitution, it will be difficult for him or her to understand. It definitely has some touch of like a technical language like law. So why? But again, if we get into this, why it was dominated by lawyer and politicians? Because very few Indians were educated that time. Our, the various industries or anything in any field, we were not developed. We were just fighting with each other, and we were fighting for our not just life but food, basic things. तो कोई था नहीं ज़्यादा, मतलब स्ट्रेटा के लोग नहीं थे जो आके फाइट कर सके. जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली में आए तो जो ब्रिटिश से फाइट कर रहे थे, ऑटोमेटिकली दे बिकेम द पॉलिटिशियन एंड द लॉयर्स हु हैड नॉलेज, जिन्होंने दूसरी कंट्रीज़ का लॉ पढ़ा, समझा उसको, तो वो आए, वो दे केम ऑन बोर्ड. Then so that is why it was lawyer and politician dominated. And then the other point of criticism is it was Hindu dominated by Hindus. Obviously there were lots of Hindus, but the scholars who criticize it, they do not know that within Hinduism there are different, we have different backgrounds. We are not uniform Hindus, we are divided on caste, different lines. So those lines were represented, like in Constituent Assembly, the people from South India were also there, from North India was also there. So it was, but essentially if Muslim League had not walked out, there would have been the Muslim people also. But because India being largely a Hindu nation, तो वहीं के लोग आएंगे, हम बना रहे हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, तो जो हमारी मेजॉरिटी है वही तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाएगी, obviously bad. But it doesn't mean there were not people from different backgrounds or religion. There were Muslim leaders also who were part of the Constituent Assembly, who lived and died for India. They did not went with Muslim League, they did not go to the Pakistan. So there were people, but essentially it was dominated by Hindus, because the minority has not risen up to that level, and as their section is smaller, so they will definitely be in proportion to their section, it was less. So this is my notes for today, Criticism of Constituent Assembly. I hope it helps you and you now know how to make your notes, and I will say thank you, and please like, share and subscribe my channel, and love you to all. Thank you so much. Bye.